are in listen-only mode.
Well, hey everybody, it's Ken Krell here. Good morning if you are on this side of the world like me here in Asia. Good evening, and thank you so much for your patience tonight. This has been a complete Murphy's Law experience. Real frustrating, certainly on our end. Just a quick update and FYI. First of all, if you can hear me okay, do me a favor, just pop in the chat and tell me that you can hear me and where you're calling me in from. It's always good to know who's here. So if you would do that, that would be awesome. Hey, Catherine, great to see you guys. Hey, Amir. So if you're going to ever do a GoToWebinar event, understand you cannot do two GoToWebinars simultaneously. So we had another, we were using Rob's account, and there was another webinar going on that did not finish in a timely fashion. So it set us completely back, and so my apologies on that. When it hits the fan like that, all you got to do is do the best you can, make the most of it. We pushed it back an hour just to allow for things to work out okay, and here we are, and you're here, so let's press on because we've got a lot to do. So thank you for coming in, you guys. A couple of ground rules, as always. Remember, this time is your time, so cell phones and papers, if you have a pager, whatever that is, stick it in the silent or vibrate position. Your mind's gonna get blown. I mean, I got to tell you, I like to see what we're doing before we ever have a guest on our webinars, and the other night, until, oh gosh, we were on until about 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Weren't we, Todd? It was, well, it wasn't 2 o'clock in the morning for you. It was 2 o'clock in the morning for me, and then I couldn't fall asleep. What you're about to hear is really, really cool stuff. And when you tie it into what you're doing in your business, whether you're in an existing business or a new business, it's super powerful. And for those of you that were with us on the Inch Investor webinar, I kept mentioning it a lot a few hours ago because it ties in so beautifully to be able to take a current asset that's producing and then really fine-tune it. And for you, Catherine, why I suggested you be here with us is because as you begin adding your own website and blogs and so on to driving traffic to your own product, this is a giant way to really jumpstart it and take advantage of the power that's out there. So rather than me continuing to tell you how excited I am, you're going to get excited yourself. You're going to meet Todd Spears in just 1 second. Todd has over 12 years in SEO. This guy has created millions of dollars of revenue by really running the systems and giving Google what it wants, which is how you win. So rather than my stealing his thunder, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Totalpreneur welcome. Let's give him a virtual clap to Todd Spears. Woo!
Right on, Ken. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I do apologize for the delay, but as Ken mentioned, we had a little bit of difficulty getting started. But now that you're all here, I want to welcome you, and I want your attention for about the next 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to go over some things and hopefully teach you some things that you've never known before about SEO and how we rank sites in Google on the first page, because we all know that that's where all the traffic is. You know, the old saying goes, if you want to hide a dead body, you put them on page 2 of Google, because no one ever goes there. So with that being said, let's move on here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me first. I know many of you probably have never heard of me before. I'm not some big launch guru that's always out there saying stuff and doing this and doing that. I pretty much stick to SEO and SEO products. Number one, I didn't just graduate high school. I've actually been making a living online since 1996, right after I graduated from college with a degree in computer science and mathematics, and kind of got on the interwebs there, and thought there was something to that, and thought I might make a living out there doing something. So I've done a lot of things since then. First thing I ever marketed online was modems. Back in the late 90s, early mid-90s, I should say, we all used modems to dial up and get online and slowly get somewhere and do things like that. So I made a good bit of money just selling modems, helping people speed up their computer. So that was my entry into working for myself, starting my own companies, and making money online. Since then, I moved into starting a web hosting company. We built some autoresponder software. Also got heavily into lead gen, where we had a lot of lead generation websites in the debt consolidation industry, in the travel industry, in the financial industry. And I sold that company for a couple million in 2003. And that's kind of when I really started honing in on SEO, because I looked back at my financials and noticed that I was paying quite a bit of money to my affiliates who were generating traffic via the search engines. And so I decided that's where I wanted to go next, and so started learning it and kind of creating my own way and creating my own ideas and creating my own software and just testing a lot of things and experimenting, and it led me down to something I invented back in '04 called SEO hosting. And it's pretty common today. There's quite a bit more competition out there in the hosting world for SEO professionals, but yeah, I was the guy that first invented that many years ago, and was the only game in town for quite a long time. It was a pretty well kept underground secret because, like I said, I wasn't someone who was always, wasn't cruising across a lot of stages or anything like that. Pretty much kept to myself, but I did have an inner circle of guys, and was hanging out with Keith Baxter and Ryan Dice back in '03 and '04. We were doing what we call traffic domination workshops, where we would invite anywhere from 10 to 20 people, and we were charging good 5 figures per person to attend our workshops, and we helped them develop a business online, whether it be through conversions, website development, software, and obviously it was SEO was a big part of that, because at the end of the day, free traffic is always the best traffic. So we were doing a lot of workshops then, and then, for the next 10 years or so, just kept on having a lot of clients come in, teaching a lot of SEO and all that stuff. I actually published a course back in 2011 called Blog Network Blueprint, and I did it because there were so many people always asking me questions. New people were coming to my hosting company, and new people were, interested in what I was doing in my software. So I went ahead and published a course called Blog Network Blueprint to just help them understand all about how to build a private blog network, how to stay safe, and how that helps you rank on the first page of Google. So did that in 2011. It was a pretty big hit. Didn't sell a ton of copies because, like I said, I wasn't wasn't a big launch guru, right? I didn't have a ton of people promoting it, which was fine with me. Didn't really want the whole world to know about it. But unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, but what happened was a few other people picked up on it. They read it. They enjoyed it. They rehashed it on blogs and YouTube videos, and other gurus read it and copied it and made the course. And so nowadays, if you're into SEO these days, then I'm pretty sure you've heard of what we call PBNs. Private blog networks. And the reason why we all started going into private blog network is because Google started crushing all of the public blog networks. And those were networks that were just very, very bad. They worked for a little while, but Google caught on to them rather quickly and turned them all inside out. But if you build a private blog network where you maintain control and you maintain, the secrecy of it and those kinds of things, then that's what we all use today in order to rank first page on Google. So we since revamped that course. We've made it all new, 2015 version, because as you know, with Google and SEO, things change from time to time. You're gonna, and you got to roll with the punches and change as Google changes. I'm also one of the early founding members of OMG. That's a big group of SEO professionals online. They charge around $7,000 for entry to learn a lot of the things that I'm going to teach you today, but they don't have near the software that I have set in place. So let's just move right in. The first thing I want to show you is, let me go back one. And just again, page 1 rankings is where the money's at. And today you're going to see multiple page 1 ranking case studies where I literally took sites that were nowhere and put them on the first page of Google rather quickly using a private blog network. I'm going to get all into how that's done and how you can do it yourself over the next 30, 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it, and that does cost money to understand, how to do this, right? I mean, the thing about Google and its algorithm is that it's science, so to speak. A little bit of art in there, a little bit of artificial intelligence in there, but what it boils down to is really science, okay? And science means numbers. You got to know formulas and you got to know numbers. I know that sounds complicated, but I'm going to break it down for you and make it really, really simple to understand. So what I mean by a hard and expensive way is there's tools online that we have to go and acquire to be able to see these numbers and these metrics and how these formulas play together. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do all that. If you want to go out and do it on your own that way, you're more than welcome to do it. But I'm also, at the end of this, I'm going to show you a way that I do it that costs a lot less. Okay, so if you're ready, see everybody's already ready. Okay, here we go. First of all, I want to start off with a case study of a local cake shop over in the UK. And the reason why I start with the local cake shop is because local SEO, local client SEO, we like to call it, is where we go out to a business or they come to us and we say, hey, you're on page nowhere in Google or you're on page 3 in Google. How about we get you to page 1 on Google so you can make a lot more money? In return, you pay me anywhere from $500 to $5,000 a month, depending on the competitiveness or how much money, what the value per client is. So what that means is a cake shop might be able to afford to pay you $500 a month, which is good. It's less competitive. And a lawyer who goes after personal injury, there's going to be more competition there, and they're making $100,000 a client. Well, they can obviously pay you $5,000 a month. So it doesn't take very many local clients. If you're into that, if that's what you want to do or can do, then this is the way we do it. So I'm going to show you how some screenshots of how I rank this for multiple terms in just 3 to 4 weeks. So on the left here, we have a screenshot of the first rankings of all of these terms in blue on the left, and you see 501 in the middle, and that basically means it's nowhere in Google. Well, within a week, I had it started jumping up already, anywhere between page 2 and page 5. Things were starting to move along, and on the right-hand side, you can see where I got Wedding Cakes Preston on the first page of Google in 2 places, and that's what you'll see a lot of times when you're doing this. Not only will you get one spot in the rankings, but sometimes you can actually see 3 or 4. So pretty exciting there. I'll just show you another screenshot here of another a keyword that we were going after, anniversary cakes. Here we are, we're in the number 3 position on the first page of Google. And you can see I sent a screenshot here to the client that says, hey, look at this, we're seeing a lot of good movement here. And of course he's like, yay, right on. One of the challenges with this site in the beginning was when I agreed to take on this site, the first thing I did was kind of did some checks on it, and it had been hacked. It had been red flagged by Google and every other malware detection software on the internet that said, this site is basically banned. So once we cleaned that up, then we put the links to it, and it started moving right up. So just another screenshot here, another example of model cakes. We got to page 1 in Google and in google.co.uk. They're similar but different. So I was running an experiment here where I was ranking them in both versions of Google. You can see here CO.uk, and you can also see google.com. So another good example of a first page ranking. This one is actually birthday cakes. All right, so that was a local case study, and there may be some people on the call that will say, well, that anyone can do that. Well, not really anyone. I mean, you do need to have a private blog network. You do need to know what you're doing to get anything, anywhere to move up in Google. You don't just snap your fingers. You do have to make some moves. Now, what I want to show you is the flip side of that, where I took a super competitive website that was an affiliate site that was built with one of those Amazon store builder software. This one's pretty good. It's called Amazon Fresh Store Builder, basically, and it makes really good, really good, really nice Amazon affiliate sites. But this isn't an e-commerce store. We're not drop shipping this. This is straight up affiliate site. And if you've ever tried to rank some sort of product in Google, I mean, you know you're going to be fighting with Amazon #1, eBay #2, Walmart and Target are all in the mix now too, because they've got a very large presence online, and they're authority sites. Those sites have so much authority, so much trust, so many inbound links that Google just can not help but rank them for basically every product that you try and rank for. But I'm going to show you right here, right now, where I took an affiliate website and ranked right amongst all of them and beat them out in a lot of cases. So check out these screenshots right here. VTech Dinos for sale. This was a very interesting keyword, and I'm going to show you a little bit more in a minute. #1 and #2 there. #1 and Bing. In all three, you'll see screenshots from Google, Bing, and Yahoo. So it works for all three. And you want to say no one goes to Yahoo and Bing. Well, people do go there, right? They exist for a reason. So it's not bad to have them ranked there as well. It's just added traffic. So you'll see these techniques also work in the other ones as well as Google. Best in Google though. Over here, #11, #13, this site actually, this is an older screenshot. It's actually moved up some from there, but this is just some screenshots that I really want you to pay attention to the sites that are around me and the sites that I'm beating. For instance, you'll see Amazon on these pages. You'll see vtech.co.uk, which is the actual manufacturer of these sites. And you'll see right here I'm beating Target, eBay, and Twitter. So that's pretty astounding there. Here's some more screenshots of that one I told you about in the beginning, the VTech Dinos for sale. And I want to kind of show you this example of what happens when you start applying pressure to a site. When I say pressure, I just mean links and authority blogs that pass a lot of link juice. On the first slide on the left, first image on the left, you'll see I dominated the bottom 5 spots for that particular keyword, and then a few days later, I was in the top 3 for that keyword, and now this screenshot was actually taken yesterday. VTechDinos.com is the site that I ranked, and you can see the red arrows that I am ranking all the way down the page. And this has held for over the past month. So this site is really starting to take on some traffic, and this site, went from kind of nowhere to first page all over the place. And this is an example, and Ken, I know what he does now, and I know how he teaches people how to go out and buy these businesses that are already, have customers. They already have, traffic sources. They're already kind of going. They're kind of got their age going on with them and all those kinds of things. And when you take what Ken teaches us and his whole entire membership site that goes over how to vet these sites and how to find these sites and how you're investigating these sites. And I was doing this earlier today, and I could see a lot of sites that had some organic traffic. That's how they're making their money, was some organic traffic. And I know for a fact that if you take a site that's ranking for some keywords, maybe not the most important keyword, but some keywords, and you make the right tweaks to the site and apply the right link juice to that page, it will hit page 1. And that's how you buy a site that's maybe in decline, or a site for a lot less money. Apply these techniques to it. If the revenues go up because there's more traffic, more visitors and more sales, more opt-ins, bigger customer base, hang on to that for a little while, and I guarantee you flip that for more money as the revenue goes up. So very important that you can take sites that are down in Google on page 2, page 3, page 4, and get them up to page 1 rather quickly and rather easily once you build one of these private blog networks. All right, now here's just some other results of some of my past students that have built these private blog networks and have applied them to certain money sites. Some they own and some that they're getting paid thousands of dollars to help others move up in their rankings. This particular site is an example of a good friend of mine, student of mine. He's also a partner of mine on Blog Network Blueprint, helped me build that course. Very smart kid. Started this site February 14th. By April of 14th, it was starting to rank in Google, and this was his parents' site that did a seasonal outdoor recreational equipment rental company up around Vancouver. I don't want to give away the exact keyword, but they rented some stuff. And so he took this brand new site from nothing to about $80,000 in their first year. And it was all by the power of a private blog network. So that's a pretty cool example of getting started right out of the gate, applying these principles to it, and making a good business out of it. 400 calls, 44 sales. They actually ran out of inventory. They actually rent these big things that cost a few $1,000s each. So 44 sales doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of revenue. Okay, so going on again here, you can see another graph and screenshots of basically someone taking on a client. You can see I left the term lawyer there on the second one. So this is a $2,500 per month boosting these lawyer sites by just applying some links from PBNs, and boom, they get up there on page 1 of Google. Another guy, this was a screenshot that I took out of one of our Facebook groups where he just posted up a case study and talked about where he took this guy that was spending $7,200 a month in pay-per-click, turned around and paid James Upjohn, $3,200 a month instead, and he still made $6,000 in leads in 1 month. So you can see here on the graph where he noted where he added the 3 PBNs. And this was kind of a funny conversation. I didn't have a chance to, I didn't screenshot all the comments that were down below his, but it was kind of funny. People were like, shh, don't tell anyone, PBNs are dead. They really don't work. And everyone was just kind of being facetious about, how and why PBNs are so effective these days. So just another example. I just really wanted to, hammer home the fact that what we're doing works today. It's actually been working for many, many years, but today, I think it even works better today than it did a few years ago, because a few years ago, it was pretty easy to use spam and get your sites ranked. But nowadays, that doesn't work too well anymore at all. If it does, it's very short-lived. So when you go out and you buy the latest and greatest link maximizer hijacker deluxe for $27 and you spam a bunch of comments and profiles and piss a bunch of people off, just know that it's going to be very short-lived and you're really going to be chasing your tail for the most part. Okay, on to this slide right here. This is one I'm very proud of. This is one of my sites that I sold last year for $105,000. And I really want to show this to point out that, a lot of people think that, I can't compete in SEO because all the people that are making all the money are in, these super competitive keywords that get 10,000 visitors a day, and that's just how they make money. The little guys don't ever make any money. But I'm going to tell you right now, that right there is not just chump change. And it didn't take a lot of traffic to do this. As you can see here, 5 leads per day at $40 a lead is a $70,000 a year business. And it's really not that hard to do if you hone in on the right keywords, which means having the right keyword tool to allow you to see exactly what it is that you should be targeting that's not so competitive that you could never get there. It would take longer to get there. You can always get there if you applied enough pressure and you had a lot of patience. But this didn't take me very much to rank in order to generate this revenue, and then at the end of the day, turn around and sell that site. So pretty cool story there, and I just want everyone to realize that you don't have to be, the biggest kid on the block in SEO to make decent money at it. All right. Oh yeah. So Now let's just start talking about how we do that. All right, I've already showed you plenty of case studies that you should be able to see by now that kind of know what I'm talking about. I do this over and over again, and I've done it for over a decade. So really, you just got to keep it simple. I mean, there's a lot of SEO people out there that make it real complicated. You got to do this and set up that, and it's just really not that complicated once you get down to what actually makes things rank. So here's the only 3 ranking factors that really matter. Number 1, you need aged, high metrics, blog networks, and money sites. Okay, I know that was a mouthful there, but you need domains with high metrics. And your question is, well, what are high metrics? Don't worry, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Good on-page SEO, that means not spammy. What that means is if you're targeting a particular keyword, don't put it everywhere and anywhere on the page. You really only need it in your title tag, perhaps in your H1 tag, perhaps somewhere one more time in the content, provided you have 100 or 200 words of content on your page. You don't need a lot of on-page keyword stuffing. It's called keyword stuffing, and it used to work. And that's why it doesn't work anymore. It was because everyone did that, and then everyone got burned for doing it and taken down. Google does a very, very good job nowadays of reading your title tag, reading your H1 tag, and understanding what your site is about and what it is that you're targeting just by the content on the page. So don't get spammy with it. Low bounce rate, high CTR, and dwell time. That basically means when someone comes to your site, make it interesting. Start a video. Do you see those slideshow images at the top of all these new WordPress sites? Make it interesting. Make the visitor come and dwell for a minute. Try to get them to click another link. That's the best thing to do, okay? Because site interaction is a proving ranking factor, so you want to make sure when your people get there, they're a little bit like, aha, what's this? Not, oh crap, wrong link, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be site branding and link relevancy, and that's why you need to use a private blog network that keeps you in control of your branding and you're passing relevant links to the money site. Number 3 is very important, and that's really what we're going to start honing in on. Now, the rest of the stuff is, I wouldn't say common sense, but it's just stuff that you just need to be cool about. Okay, number 1 is about metrics. We're going to get to that. Number 2 is about just making a cool site. Don't be spammy. Number 3 is about building a private blog network. All right, again, it's not rocket science, guys. It's not like these 2 guys staring at a chalkboard. It's really not that way. Private blog networks are just a collection of high authority juicy domains that link back to your money sites. These blogs or domains or sites, whatever you want to call them, I call them blogs a lot because I use WordPress pretty much exclusively on all my sites because it's easy for me to manage and control them. So blogs can be interchangeable with an HTML site too. But what you need is content published with what we call money posts, okay? And those money posts attract the search engine spiders. Those money posts contain backlinks to your target money sites with varying anchor text, okay? So content with links back to your money site. Backlinks. I'm sure all of you know that Google ranks sites based on the number of backlinks coming into your money site. That's your target, okay? But it's not just about links anymore. It used to be you could spam the world and get away with it. That's not the case anymore. Some little friendly animal called Penguin came out and knocked all of that out, whatever was remaining. I believe it was about a year and a half ago. Might even been 2 years ago by now. Penguin came out and dusted off everybody that just went after quantity of links. Now we have to go at it with quality. Okay, and what I mean by quality is the domains that we're linking from have high metrics. They have high authority and they have trust. Okay, and those high authority, high metric domains, blogs, sites, whatever you want to call them, they pass their link juice, they pass their trust, they pass their authority onto your money site. A little bit, every link bleeds a little bit of all of that goes down to your money site. Does that make sense? Now, if it didn't, I'm going to show you a diagram on the next slide. This is all it is. Juicy blog domains pass link juice to high aged plus high metrics equals juicy. In just a minute, I'm going to show you a little bit more about how you find these juicy domains, how you set them up, and how you link them to your money site. But just remember this diagram. It's this simple. It's not the chalkboard, okay? It's this. Aged high metric sites, aka juicy domains, coming in to your money site with these links. All right. Okay, now you're gonna, the $1 million question is how do I do that? What's required? How do I get that going, and what's it gonna cost me? Well, the sad truth is that it does cost money to get in to these services to understand the metrics. Let me explain why. A few years ago, many years ago, we all used a metric called PR. PR stood for page rank. The higher your page rank was, the more trust, the more authority, the more juice your site had. Okay? So we all use that is to gauge our juice coming to our site. So we said to ourselves, okay, I need to go out and get 5 links from 5 domains with a PR of 5, and I can beat all the sites that only have 4 links from PR 2s. Right? Makes sense. Higher metrics is better. Okay? But Google caught on to that. Google said, you guys are using our PR to do SEO, and we don't like that. So starting about 2.5 years ago, might even be 3 years by now, lose track of time sometimes, they decided they were never going to update PR again. Actually, they went a full year without updating it a couple years ago. And then they finally decided that, hey, we aren't going to ever update PR anymore, so you don't know which sites have PR, so you can't do SEO very well. We all said, oh crap, now what? Well, what happened then was there's a couple of companies out there, namely here on the left-hand side, you'll see Majestic and Moz are the two most known and well-respected sites that go out and they crawl the internet just like Google, and they have these algorithms and these sciences behind them, and they come back and they tell us what this domain's worth and how much juice it has and how much good it would do us if we popped out a link from that domain. Well, they cost money, okay? And if you don't want to go and sign up with either of those two services, then you're not going to know SEO. You're not going to be able to know what's a juicy domain and what isn't. You're not going to be able to know how juicy your competition is. You're not going to be able to know how juicy you are. So you kind of got to have it, or you can't do it. And I know it's expensive. I've been paying it for years. I pay for all these services you see on the screen for years, as well as developing my own software and tools as I've come along. Now, over the last couple of years, I've been taking all of my knowledge and all of the knowledge that these guys possess and bringing it all under one roof. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But this is just an example of a few services and a few tools that you really need to have in order to do a good job at SEO. I mean, without these tools, you could guess at it, you could ask your friends for their tools, I guess, I don't know. But you can't do it blindly. Yeah, Catherine, I'll get to your question shortly. So these are just an example of some of the expenses that you could incur while you're doing SEO. You really can't get away doing SEO correctly with nothing. Okay, that doesn't exist. All right, so at the low end, you're looking at about $6,000 a year. When you add all this stuff up, you're looking at $500, $600 a month, a minimum for the proper SEO tools. Okay, now here's where I say, want to see the easy way? I'm sure you all do. Of course you do. All right, I'm going to introduce you now what I call the SEO Command Center. And the SEO Command Center is a tool, software that I've been working on for quite some time. And what it does is it brings all of the tools that I just showed you on the previous slide all under one roof, and it is very special. Okay, so what I want to do here is just log in And when the screen starts loading, this is the software. What we see right now is rank tracking. What it's doing right now is filling in the screen of some example sites and some of my case studies that are coming in here now and showing me what my rankings are if they're going up and down. Now, again, some of these aren't my sites. Some of these are just test sites. Here's the case study that I just showed you a minute ago. This is real time, right? This is updated every day. And it's just another tool. If you're not tracking your rankings, then you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you've done to give your site a positive effect or a negative effect, and you don't understand that on a daily basis, then you don't know where you're going right or where you're going wrong. So this is the first tool that we have inside the system. You can put quite a bit in here, and it has a couple of admin controls over here on the left-hand side where you can add your URL. You can track local keywords, which means if you have a client in another city that you're in, it takes a little bit to change your search tools and change your location in order to go in there and track that URL. So it's kind of cumbersome. So this tool actually allows you to put in the location of that business and it tracks it accordingly. It'll also track YouTube URLs and any national URLs you want. Right now it's going back and it's actually pulling fresh data from the system right now, and it's going to put all those on the page. So the other thing we have here is mobile tracking. That's big thing these days, is being able to track all of your mobile sites. That's a little bit different. So you want to make sure you're doing mobile tracking as well. And as I clicked on it, it just loaded. Maybe let me go back to it just for a second. It may start calculating them again. But if I wanted to, I could just add a URL in here. I can do any of these search engines I want. Just start typing. All right, and it's any country, any Google you want is all here. The same thing with Bing and Yahoo. And also, if you have a YouTube video that you want to track, you can also track that in here as well. Google allows us, like I mentioned a minute ago, you can enable local tracking, so you can put in the city, the language, and then you have these other options up here. So it does everything. That's the bottom line. This is not the sexiest tool in here. It's just one of them, and trust me, it does everything. Add your keywords, and they're tracked daily. The most important aspect of this tool, let me go back to the dashboard real quick and just show you some of the little one hits I have here. Here's a quick I'm going to come back to this screen right here in just a second. But I just want to show you all these widgets we have on this homepage. And as those rankings are loading, I keep popping back up to the top. So it takes it a minute to get everybody loaded. Probably should take some of those out there. I can actually turn those. I can actually go into my rankings dashboard over here and turn off the ones I want to see when I log in. Probably don't need to see everything when you first log in. But I like to see as much as I can. I mean, that's the most important thing to me. How am I ranking? And if I see anything bad, like this site here, for instance, not mine, but it's gone down. So right here's a lot of widgets. You can check keyword ranking. You can put in a domain, a country, and a keyword, and just simply get its position right away. You can use the domain. So I'm going to go into the domain sleuth a lot more in just a second, so we'll save that one. We've got long tail keyword suggestions. Remember the $100,000 site I sold? The reason why I made that money was because I found long tail keywords to rank for. Okay. One thing I'm really proud of too is I also have the Google Keyword Planner. I actually have a developer's API token, which gives me access to straight to the heart of Google's keyword tool and their AdWords platform. I'm pretty proud of that. Not very many people are allowed to have that, but I was able to convince them that I would be a good Samaritan with it and make a really cool software. I didn't tell them exactly what, but at the end of the day, they let me have it. So I'm really proud of the Google Keyword Planner. So I know it's a free tool. Go there and use it all you want, but I have it here as well. Website speed analysis. If you always need to test your money sites. Are they fast? Are they slow? This right here actually queries Google, and Google brings us back the information whether or not this site is fast or slow, and what do we need to do to fix it. Domain metrics. I promised I would start talking about metrics, and that's what I'm about to do here in just a second. But right here, put in a quick URL, pop in a competitor's URL, you get back that domain's metrics to figure out how much authority they have, how much juice they have, you know, the overall PR, which doesn't update anymore, but that's what it is. You can check domain social reach. How many likes, tweets, all that social reach. It's called social reach. How much of that's going on out there for your domain or your competitor's domain. It's somewhat important as well. Social is a ranking factor these days. It's not the most important thing. I've ranked sites without it. I know there's a lot of people that'll sell you products out there that say the only way you'll ever rank is with a social profile and all the blah, 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 blah. Well, not really. Depends on how competitive your market is. And if you need that extra push, then by all means, it's something that you should do. Over here on the left is the latest SEO news. What I like to do is look at this Mozcast right here. It's kind of low today for some reason. There might be something going on. Normally, we like to see this in the 70s or 80s. 55 degrees tells me that there's a lot of churn in the rankings today. And I might want to look over here on the latest SEO news from search engine land to see if something important is happening. So don't disregard the latest SEO news. It can, you know, obviously let you in on a few things here and there. To-do list is simply that. Okay, now what I really need to get into is the metrics. Okay, why are metrics important and what do they mean? Where do we get them and all that stuff? As I told you before, Moz and Majestic are the two places now that we go and we figure out how juicy these domains are. So what we have here, first of all, here's PageRank. Now we still go out and get PageRank. I know I told you it isn't worth anything anymore, but you just take it with a grain of salt because, for instance, if it's, you know, TechCrunch.com is a PageRank 8. That has not been updated in years, but that tells me 3 years ago it was a PageRank 8. Does that make sense? And, you know, so it did have some relevance with Google a while back, so it means something. If it's 0, well, maybe it just never was calculated. This SEO Command Center was obviously just never calculated with PageRank, and I don't SEO my Command Center anyway. You know, that wouldn't be cool. So citation flow and trust flow comes from a company called Majestic. Trust flow, I'm going to tell you right now, is probably the most important metric that we look at, but we got to make sure we're looking at it with the citation flow. Okay, so both of those matter. Domain authority and page authority comes from Moz. That tells us what it says, the authority of a domain. Okay, but the only problem with just looking at Moz, and if you want, you can go to Moz right now and get an account for $80 a month and see all this information yourself. We actually just tap into their APIs. I pay them hundreds and thousands of dollars per month to be able to tap them, query them, bring back the information to the system. So I'm not making this stuff up. I'm getting it from them. I just have to pay for it and bring it back into here. So that's how that works. But let me just briefly tell you, domain authority is a good metric to know. Higher is always better across the board here, but I'm going to get into ratios in a minute. But domain authority just means there's a lot of action coming in. There's a lot of backlinks coming in, but Moz does not do a very good job of determining whether or not those backlinks are spam, right? This domain could be it's not because it's TechCrunch, but it's 95. That's not a good example, but let's just say Chicago Dentist here has a domain authority of 14. But look how low its trust flow is, 5. That tells me there's probably a lot of spam going on. Just the name itself implies somebody's SEOing that domain, right? So there's probably a lot of spam links coming in to that domain. So, but the domain authority is not going to tell us that. It's just going to say a high number, and you're going to think, woohoo, that's great. Well, it's really not. You have to combine that data with data from other sources as well as view a couple of other things, but it does take time if you go out and buy these services individually. But I'm about to show you, we'll knock your socks off when I show you how fast and easy it is. I'm able to query all of those services and check all the metrics and all the backlinks and all the anchor text to know immediately whether or not this domain is for real or not. Because you can get high metrics and that domain be spam and penalized. Because what we're trying to do here with our tool is find a collection of juicy domains that we can add to a blog network and point them to our money site. Now, the goal here is we have to find those domains. Now, there's 2 ways to find them, and there's also a third that I'll get into later. But The two ways that we have here inside this system is one called the domain sleuth. And what the domain sleuth does is it goes out. Let me go ahead and load a filter here. Let me change a date. Go ahead and get this started. Let me change that for a week out. What I'm looking at right now is GoDaddy, Snap Names, and NameJet. And this is where all domains go. There's a few other auction houses out there as well, but these are the three main ones that contain all the best domains. And what happens is when a domain expires or an owner wants to get rid of it, they send them to auction, and the ones with the best metrics, oops, sorry, let me search, get snatched up at these auctions and used as private blog networks. This is what a lot of people do to buy. I mean, hell, you could literally find some good domains through auction, put some good content on them, get them ranking, and put them on FlipUp pretty fast. They have age, content, authority, metrics, all that stuff. So buying a domain at auction is a very, very widely held practice, looking for money sites and or auction and or domains for a private blog network. Now, my initial search right here, I just set my minimum criteria of a domain authority of 30, a page authority of 30, a minimum age of 2, because I do want a little bit of age on there. And obviously, you can go up, but you're going to find more if you put 2 there. All right, so now the system went out and it combed through, you might have saw it, it combed through 3 million domains that we have inside our database. They come from these 3 sources, and it's sorted by domain authority. So I can look at these and say, okay, these have a lot of good domain authority, a little bit of traffic here, a little bit of Alexa rank here. Anyway, what we want to do is go ahead and inspect these domains further, because used to, people would be like, oh, it has a high domain authority, I'll buy it and put it in my blog network. But what they failed to do is check its trust flow, check its citation flow, check its backlinks, and check its anchor text for abuse, for spam, for stuff that you really do not want to spend your money on. If you're not looking at all of those things, then be prepared to waste your money on garbage. Be prepared to buy a penalized domain that is going to eventually penalize your money site. So you have to be really careful about this. You have to know what you're looking. So the first thing we see here is kevinseconds.com. So we can go here and we see the domain authority is really high. The old page rank's really high, and it's 12 years old. That's pretty hopping. That's pretty hopping right out of the gate. So right now, like I said before, we want to look at the anchor text. Are these anchor texts any of the 3 P's out of the gate? Do you see porn, pills, or payday? All right, if you see porn, pills, or payday, this is an immediate reject. Okay, if you don't, if you see a lot of Asian anchor text, you probably want to stay away from that too, unless you know what you're doing with it. All right, that's a little bit more of advanced 301 redirects, cloaking, and things like that when you start talking about high-powered Asian anchor text sites. You have to be careful with that. But anyway, right out of the gate, I say, okay, this looks pretty good. It's a branded anchor text. It says, it doesn't say cheap UGG boots, right? That's spam. It's just branded name. Right here's the ratio of all of the anchor text, which is something else that's important to know. Okay, moving on down, trust flow and citation flow, 13 and 13. That's 1-to-1. That's phenomenal. That's what you want. You don't want to see 13 trust flow and 59 citation flow. That's immediately a red flag that someone has spammed this domain. And if you're not looking at that, again, you're going to get caught with a bad domain. Another really cool thing you want to look at is referring domains. 175 referring domains, which is a lot. That's not spam, because we just determined that this isn't spam. Those 2 metrics are good. Those metrics are good. And now it gets even better. 175 referring domains, 129 referring subnets. Referring subnets means unique IP addresses, which means unique domains, unique servers, unique places across the world, right? That's really good as well. All right, and then we look down here at the source URLs, like where are these links coming from? So we can see the URL right there, all right, and there's the target that's going into kevinseconds.com, and then we see what its citation flow and trust flow is. Now, you can just briefly glance at that for a minute and be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. We got anchor text down here. We got some more information. All of this data comes straight from Majestic and Moz. I didn't make it up. I'm getting it from the source, okay? So this is a very cool domain. I might say, hey, I'm going to go out there and bid on that. Right now, it's at $100. There's 1 day to go. Might get into this domain is actually a really good domain, and I promise you, by the time this one sells, it will probably be a few $100s, which I know to a lot of you, that's expensive, and I agree. But I'm telling you this, the power in these domains passing link juice to your money site will pay off in spades for the most part. I know people, and myself have done it, have spent $10,000 on a blog network, but made $100,000 in return. So you just got to play in your game. You don't have to get this domain. There are so many available domains out there. It's kind of ridiculous. But this one, as I just pointed out, is very, very good. I call that a keeper. Now, let's just move on to the next one. What I'm going to do here is show you a bad one real quick. And the goal of this tool was to go from looking for domains to buy or bid on, to cut that down from 3 hours to finding 15 domains in 15 minutes to buy or bid on. Does anyone here think this is a good one? It says Harbor Air Adventure Center, and it's got Burberry outlet sale. Burberry outlet sale. Seems a little bit commercial. Might be a little bit citation flow and trust flow looks pretty good. Domain authority, page authority is pretty in line. 311, 239. It started off looking commercial, but now the more I look at it, they're really trying to rank for Burberry Outlet Online Store. It's actually doesn't have too much going on there, not too many domains. I always come across one, so that might be a bidder right there. Going back to the GoDaddy auctions, yeah, you know what? I think I would definitely, as long as the price didn't get into triple digits, this would definitely be something that I would probably bid on because these metrics look really good. So if you wanted to find that information out, you would need at minimum 3 tools. You would need Register Compass for $37 a month. You would need Moz for $80 a month, and you would need Majestic for $100 a month. And you would need probably about, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes maybe per domain, depending on how fast you are, to determine this information. So that's why I built this tool. I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and I apologize for getting slow here because I always find some really good. This is live, guys. This is live. So I have not seen these yet. This was not set up in any way, shape, or form. I just don't like this at all. Trust flow 0, weird looking anchor text. Don't even really like that at all. That's a reject. So did you see that? I just rejected. Go to mount. There's another weird one. Just reject it. Move on. Another weird one. Reject. Moving on down. Looks like all the, okay, right here. Anybody see anything wrong with this one? Who would bid on this? Anyone? Yeah, crickets. Yeah, just reject. Moving right along. I mean, I guess unless you're trying to rank that kind of stuff, but yikes. That's swimming with some sharks and eels, man. Screenshots, no, reject. So this is why, this is probably my favorite tool in here. This is just a bunch of weird anchor text. No idea what's going on there, but I'm glad I could see it in an instant and not even pay it any more mind. Keep on going down here. Black Friday Uggs. You know, someone's trying to rank for Ugg boots. It's spam. You don't want to get involved with that. There's too many. It's actually got pretty decent metrics, though. Somebody did a pretty good job of spamming it, but I would definitely not buy or bid on this to put inside my private blog network. You really want to stay away from all domains with commercial intent. Cheap herb layered dresses and all that, that's another reject. So that's the domain sleuth, and that, my friends, is a very awesome tool that will allow you to look at all of the domains in auctions really, really quick. What do you think about that one, Ken?
That gets me so excited. When we went through this the other night, that's what kept me up all night, is just being able to see what the options were, what the possibilities were, where the money is, and get past the junk and right to the profit. I mean, you've made it and created it into a system that's just like so brilliantly simple, where you can actually see where the money gets made. It's so cool. How many guys are feeling the excitement that I'm feeling? Because I just think this. I mean, we're just getting warmed up. I mean, this is huge stuff. So I think you're going to be able to start putting this into place in your businesses in a way that's just going to just drive you so happy.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Locating the domains to put in your private blog network is the most tedious part, and it can be the most expensive. That's why it's so important to get it right.
yeah, but once you get it right, once you got it, I mean, it's like starting from scratch. I keep telling everybody, starting from scratch is the long, hard way.
Hmm.
When you can go ahead and you can jump in and buy your way in. You've heard of BYO. Well, for bring your own. In this case, it's buy your own. You're buying your way in. What a great, fast way to be able to get super results, and
Absolutely.
that's huge.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I just want to say again, built my private blog network once for me. I've built many private blog networks for others as well. But I continuously add good domains to it. And all of those case studies that I showed you in the beginning were all done with the same blog network. The same blog network ranked every single one of them. I didn't have to go and build a new one for a particular client. No, Patrick, they don't have to be relevant. That's another myth. That's some kid that just graduated high school who was a Facebook expert 6 months ago. He's now an SEO expert and has nothing better to say but to, say things like that because he has no experience. He gets me every time. And that's why so many of you get lost because you think you got to do this and you got to do that. And oh my God, if you don't do this, Google police are going to show up and they're going to take away everything. No, they're not. People say a lot of crap just to feel like they're smart. Well, I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, I mean, would relevant help? Probably not. Does it look better? Yeah, probably does. Does anybody care? No. The only time I would ever use a niche relevant PBN is if I was stuck on page 2 with my current PBN and I had to get that thing to page 1. That might be a little bit better. Majestic has what's called topical now. So topical can get you somewhat relevant, and a lot of people are focused on topical relevancy now, and they can't pull the trigger and get anything done because they read the book from the kid that blah 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 them to death, and now they're getting nowhere in life, right? So you don't need that. I've never had to need it. Like I showed you in the beginning, same unrelevant PBN ranked all those, and they've stayed ranked. So guys got to stop buying the crap from the kids, man. That irritates me to no end because I have to answer. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind answering questions, but yeah, a lot of people out there who are just doing it for your money. They don't really know what they're really doing. They don't do any tests, right? Thanks, friend, whoever said that. I can't see your name. Some of you guys coming in here as askers and that are saying things, your name is friend. So, you know, maybe tell me your names too. So I see a few of them, but some of them aren't. Okay, let's move on here. I know I'm already late. My goodness, I always stay too long on that particular tool, but it's like the holy grail, man. One of them. But let me just back up for a minute. What we're doing in the PBN tool section is we got to do 3 things. We got to find domains. We got to host those domains, and we got to post to those domains. That's it. That's it. Those are the 3 things. And we can do all 3 of those things from right here inside this software. Okay? But before I move on to the hosting, I got to show you another really cool tool that I've had for a while. I put it into this software about 4 months ago, and it's called the crawler. And what the crawler is what we do is we go over here, and I'm actually running a crawl right now for the last 8 hours. And basically what this has told me, it's found 36 domains that are available to be registered for $10. Remember how I showed you some of those metrics on some of those domains, and it was probably going to cost you anywhere between $100 or $300 or $500. Some of those get really expensive. Now, some of them are also in there at $50 too. Don't get me wrong. Don't be scared that everything you're going to buy is going to be $100 because it's not. There's a lot of nice ones for $69. Okay, but this right here will allow you to scrape the internet for juicy domains. The only cost is the registration. Okay, so what I've done here in step 1 is I went to Google and I put in a keyword. Now this is where you can get niche relevant PBNs if you want. This is where you can come and get them. So say you're looking for something in the fishing world, okay? So we'll put in, I don't know, something like fishing news, right? Because we're looking for sites that are linking out to a domain that's no longer registered, right? That someone abandoned years ago and it's just sitting there, but it still has this link coming into it from a high authority news site or some site that ranks on page 1 of Google. And if you're a news site and you're ranking on page 1 of Google, then you've got some power because you've got a lot of competition around you. So that's why I like to stay there. Now you can experiment with this off and on. You can do whatever you want here. But the other thing that I like to do is I like to backdate this. Okay, like I'll say 2002 back to 2010. Why? Because now I know I'm looking for domains that are old, right? It's not likely that a domain that was registered 2 years ago would be getting a link from an old site, right? So we'll backdate this stuff. So Google actually has history. You can change, if you've ever done that before, if you ever know that, you can change the date the results you're looking at. I mean, Google has so much power, so much storage. It's incredible what they have and what you can do with them if you know how to do it. Anyway, so I backdate that. I don't want to go through it right now, but what you do is you generate the seed list because this is what you need, a seed list. There's a lot of other ways to do it. Just go to YouTube and say, how do I generate a seed list to crawl for expired domains? That's what we're doing here. We're generating a seed list to crawl domains for expired domains. And everything we find could have enough cool metrics to buy for 10 bucks. I say buy, I mean register for 10 bucks. Okay, so this has been running for a little bit for today. I started it. What the heck? And I'm just gonna tell you guys what I did right here. I was watching some politics earlier today, so I put in Republicans and Democrats, political candidates, and I backdated it from 02 to 010 or something like that. So you'll see all these political sites right here, right? And you know, every candidate has a website, right? And a lot of people probably link to it, right? You know, so a lot of, look, it's non-commercial, right? Candidates and political stuff is non-commercial, not trying to sell anything. I mean, they're trying to get donations, but they're not, you know, spamming it with cheap boots, you know, crap like that. So anyway, I'm getting behind myself. I just really love what I found here today, guys. I'm hesitant to show this off. I'm gonna have to delete this from the replay because I found a lot of juicy domains doing this today. I'm like, wow, I can build a whole dang blog network with this. Look at this.
Don't you love how we make money when we do webinars? We just find stuff that we can use immediately.
I know. Every time I do this,
I've got them on the screen. I'm like screenshotting it now. You know?
So I'm really impressed with this search, guys. I usually don't see this much blue on the screen, right? I mean, you know, you can come up goose eggs on this after a few hours too. And oh, by the way, while this is analyzing, I can go ahead and run the analyzer, and it's going to performance check. I can click that and view its progress, but I'm not going to. Boring. But right now, what it's doing is going back and analyzing everything and it's checking it for its availability or not, right? It's going out and say, can I buy you or not, basically. And then somebody saw one they had registered? What? Okay, I have to figure out what you're talking about there. But anyway, so what I do now is I usually sort by page authority, because if you sort by domain authority, you kind of get a lot of ones in here, and you know, kind of not what I'm looking for. But I sort by page authority, and boom, 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 I can automatically go in here and say, okay, now I've got something to munch on. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of these. And now here is where we jump to another section of the system that's called the domain analyzer. And what the domain analyzer is, it's just a place to come here and put it. As you notice, it populated my box with all of those domains down there. So I just took that set from the crawler to the analyzer, because now what do I got to do? I told you that Moz, the domain authority and page authority, comes from Moz, and that's okay because now we know it's got action. But now, what does it really look like, right? What's really going on? What's its trust flow? What's its citation flow? What's its anchor text? What's the cloud look like? What's its backlinks look like? Those are the things you got to take a minute to check out. So I already ran some of these earlier today, so I'm going to go ahead and view this report right here. And here it goes. It's starting to populate. Now I'm going to sort this by trust flow, Now I know I have domain authority that are all 2 digits, and now I'm looking at trust flow and citation flow, external backlinks, and referring domains, which is all good metrics. This one right here looks really good. You see the little money sign, right, the little dollar sign right there? I click it, and off I go to instantly register it for $10 before someone else does. Right, that one is available. Okay, so but let's take a look at it a little bit further. This is maybe not the perfect one. I can look at a few more here. This one here has more referring domains is better, but not 10 or more is really all I'm looking for. Like this 2 right here, I would really have to go look at that a little bit further to be like, I really want that. But anything 9's close enough for me. 15's great. 45 and page authority, domain authority 2638, 1428. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and jump on that one right there. So what I've done now is I've opened a new tab, and now I'm going to request more detailed metrics for this domain, the www version 2, by the way, it matters. This is where we spend a little bit of credits because now we got to go out to those services, Moz, Majestic, and SEMrush, and pull back their data. Now, I have these sliders here because someone's like, dude, I want to see all the domains. Well, really? Okay, you can. It's going to cost you more to do that because it charges me to do that. I don't see any point in that. All I want is a cross section. All I want is a good, simple look. So I think somewhere between 50 and 100 is enough for me. You can look at more if you want. If you're really that interested, go for it. Be my guest. It's there for you to do. I, for one, just want to get a good snapshot of it. So let's look at this real quick. It's civicforcongress.org. These guys, people are like, oh, well, can they sue you for buying their domain? No. Oh, wow, look at that. For some reason, someone already snagged this and spammed it. Look at that. See all that Asian anchor text in there? All right, bummer. So I really don't want to mess with that one at all. Got all excited there. So we're going to go ahead and not touch that one. But you see the point. I don't want to spend too much time of going back over that, but it's the same exact concept that I showed you earlier about looking at those metrics. Anchor text is huge. Anchor text is huge. You've got to know what people have been pointing at that site. And it's got to be cool. It's got to be natural. It can't be what I described earlier. Okay. So I don't have time to go through all these. I'm going to save this for later, though. Promise you I'll be going back through these and checking them out. But that's the domain tools. That's the domain analyzer. You can put your own domains in here. You can put your your client's domains in here, your competition's domains in here, and sort of see what their metrics are. That's what that's for. We also have a bulk analyzer. If someone comes up to you from one of your groups online that says, hey, I've got 50,000 unregistered domains, but I don't know if any of them are any good or not. How do I find out? Well, we can, right? We just pop them in here, and it does the exact same thing that I just showed you. Brings back those metrics and doesn't even cost any credits because sometimes we're kind of sneaky with our programming. There are some things that we can do. I have a lot of resources, guys. I won't lie. I got a lot of resources. I got a lot of servers. I got a lot of things going on. So there are a lot of places in here that we don't have to pay any for. And that just want to let you know that if I don't pay for it somewhere, then you don't pay for it somewhere. Right? I'm really, really transparent and fair about all of that kind of stuff. All right, so moving on here. I know we're getting late, and I got to get going here, but I've got to show you the main cornerstone of this product is to be able to find domains, host domains, and post those things. So what we also have inside here is what's called PBN hosting, and this is where my SEO hosting comes into play. Don't let the word SEO hosting scare you. And I know there was a 21-year-old high school student that just told you 2 or 3 weeks ago that SEO hosting is poison. It's not, it's just they got tanked and they don't know what happened, and people just literally just blame the host. It must be my host. No, it's not. You just got targeted, So it happens. But anyway, here's the good part. We have here 11 unique IPs, Class A's, Class B's, Class C's. I'm going to bore you with a lot of technical crap that you're not going to understand. Don't worry about it. It's all good. All right. You can host up to 33 domains on my hosting included in this system. So you can, now if you don't want to host with me, you can go somewhere else and get it for $50 a month per 10 IPs or something like that. Somebody might sell to you for 40. I don't know. But you can go out there and buy it on your own as well. But I own a very large data center, lots of servers, lots of IPs. I've been doing this stuff longer than anyone else in the world, and that's just how it is. So you can host up to 11 on uniques, but you can host a total of 33 domains. So you can actually create 3 parallel blog networks. All right, real cool. You just click on connect, and it goes out. It connects to the Zeus server. We click on domain manager. We simply add the domain without the www. Just add the domain right there. Create add-on. Uses a cPanel API, and off it goes. Once it installs onto the server, then we click onto the blog deployer. And the blog deployer is what I use to quickly and easily install WordPress and a whole bunch of plugins that, you kind of need plugins on your WordPress. They're cool, they're good, they protect you. Some do a lot of different things. You know what plugins are. So right here for this test, we go ahead and just click that. Now, I don't have a profile set up on this particular server. I'll need to do that. I'll do that right now, actually. So what I have here is over 150 different themes to choose from, a lot of generic. There's music, photos, shopping, skincare, a lot of different niches in here, and there's also 71 generics, so you get a lot of different themes to choose from, whatever you want, or if you don't like any of these, upload your own. Upload your own, and it'll install it. Okay, upload your own. Then just fill in a few blanks here: blog title, subtitle, username, password, email. But when you can save all this stuff, whatever you want to do here, and then you can add a new profile name. Just put in test, hit OK, and then there it is right there. And then use that profile. And then boom, now you don't have to, now all that stuff's already there, because some of this you might want to use all the time. Especially what you're going to want to use all the time is typically your plugin settings. So what I have right here is my base plugins. They're just base generic plugins that all of my WordPress sites use and have used for the last 12 years. And if anyone else out there tells you that, oh, you're going to get your site de-indexed because you're using this plugin, you know right away they have no experience doing this. You know right away that they were selling some Facebook garbage 3 weeks ago, okay? They don't know what they're talking about. They've never done it, okay? So don't worry about it. Another one of those, whew. Anyway, so if you like all these, just hit yes. I would recommend hitting yes, but it's up to you, clearly up to you. Do what you want to do. I love Content Amigo. It's one of my custom plugins that I've been using and developing over the last 5 to 6 years. What it does is it backdates and backfills content on your PBNs so that they have something there. You don't just want money posts on your blog. You want to have some backfill, and you want continuous fill coming in. There are a lot of people out there that get their blogs de-indexed. I go and look at them. I'm like, wow, you've got one post on your blog that points to a site selling cheap Uggs. Really? Okay, that's why you got de-indexed. All right, so Content Amigo is a very cool plugin. Once you install it, put in all your settings. There's some settings here you got to go through. There's a little bit, but once you set it up once, then you save this profile, and you never have to set this up again. You may want to change your keywords depending on the niche that you're kind of going after. A relevant blog is okay to do, but it's not necessary. I usually use a lot of general news or just an overall theme of real estate or home services. I do a lot of local home improvement stuff, so I'll backfill my blog with a lot of content about home improvement or something like that. Doesn't matter what the blog used to be, but you can mix that up however you want. You can have a lot of different categories too in content dripping, category 1, category 2, category 3, and set up there. So very cool plugin there. You set everything to yes. If you want to upload your own plugins, obviously you can upload your own plugin here, and it saves it in the system, and you can always use it. Another very important plugin that is mine. It's another. It's called Spider Spanker, and Spider Spanker is used by every professional SEO in the world, and it's to help protect your blogs from the spies. One thing to know about SEO is when you start taking over positions, you're going to make some enemies, and they're going to want to come after you. Not you, but they're going to want to come after your properties and try to take you out if you're taking your money away from them. Depends on the niches you're playing in. You know, it's probably not going to happen if you're doing gardeners. It could happen in lawyers, DUI attorney, things like that. So you really want to do everything you can to protect your private blog network. And what Spider Spanker does is it keeps all those other services from indexing all those blogs. Now, you know that I showed you earlier how Majestic and Moz can find all the backlinks to a money site or to a site, to any site. Well, they can reverse engineer that and do the same thing to you. But with Spider Spanker, it prevents that from happening. The reason why I talk about these is that Spider Spanker and Content Amigo is included with the Command Center for all of your sites. I used to always talk about those. Somebody brings them up, and there's always, are they included? And I used to have to say, no, go buy them. Spider Spanker Pro's like $100 and Content Amigo's like $70. Unlimited, but they got sites. They're another product of mine. People buy that every day. But I've changed my tune. So just to let you guys know right now that this will be included as a bonus coming right up. All right. So does anyone have any questions on that? I would go through a whole install, but we're really running low on time. And I know I'm talking a lot now, but this is an auto installer. Okay, let me just quickly show you one other thing. We also have what's called the WP deployer. If you don't want to use my hosting, if you want to go pay someone else, fine, go pay someone else. This right here is another domain on another server that I own. I simply click checkbox. I simply click connect. It goes out, and what I just showed you, it does the exact same thing, but now you're not installing on my servers, you're installing on your own hosting somewhere else. And guys, everybody that buys it, please read these little messages that we put up here and there. This is a big one. If you don't set your DNS up correctly, then it won't work, right? The DNS is very important, and if you don't know what all this DNS means, oh, this brings me to also included inside the Command Center in the help section, we have University. The University is, in fact, the blog network blueprint course from top to bottom for free, included inside here. This is it. A lot of videos in here that explain basically everything you want to know about how to do all this PBN stuff manually. Okay, because this was a this was a $67 product training course, which taught you how to go and buy Moz and buy Majestic and things like that. But it's not real long. You know, there's some good amount of content in here. You're going to learn a lot. So all of this is included here. I highly encourage every single one of you to take an hour and go through it, especially PBN setup, footprint reduction, changing IPs at my hosting company, installing WordPress, setting up private name servers in Enom, GoDaddy, how to set up Cloudflare, and some advanced tactics using A-records. All very important stuff. All these videos are short and sweet. All of them are less than 10 minutes long. So very good information inside there as well. Man, I am getting really long-winded here, and I do apologize. I know we're already late. Everybody still with me? Everybody, let me check the attention level here.
You're doing great. We are loving this. I mean, the comments in the chat are outstanding, and you've not lost anybody.
Wow, I was just about to say exactly the same amount of people, and the attention looks really good. Okay, well, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. All right, so let's move on here. So we've covered how to find domains, how to host all the domains, which is provided. Again, use me, use someone else, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's a free world. We also have something called PBN Amigo, and PBN Amigo is a thing that we use, a tool that we use to be able to manage and connect and manage all of our plugins. So let's say you have a new plugin that you've got to have and you've got to install it across all of your sites. Well, you simply install it. You click on manage plugins, click on install. You select these guys up, and it brings back every single plugin that's inside all of your domains, and you can turn them off, you can turn them on, you can delete them, you can activate and upload. These are all my favorites right here. You can have WordPress repository. You go to Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. This is how you would, within a few clicks, could upload one plugin to your entire network and be done. So very handy tool. This prevents you having to do it yourself or paying a VA to do it, who will probably, in some cases, not get it right. So we built the automation in here to make this get going. I know. The link's coming. Please just hold on. I really got to show you one of the last most important pieces here.
Everybody
This
wants to play.
I
Everybody wants to
know.
play.
I know. It always gets soon as I do that, it always comes to
But
that.
guy, trust me, this is worth it, and you're gonna love this. So sit tight, breathe. Go ahead.
And let me get a drink here. Okay, so this is another really phenomenal tool. Everything's phenomenal to me, right? But it's really cool because I brought up Penguin earlier, and how Penguin jack-slapped us all for using too much over-optimized anchor text, EMD anchor text. What that means is so many of us were trying to rank for cheap UGG boots, and all of our anchor text said cheap UGG boots. Well, Penguin came crashing down and slapped everybody that was doing that. And why did we do that? Because it worked. And it was easy. We didn't have to think. And it worked great. But you know what the suck part was going out to all of our blog networks, finding all of our posts, finding all of those links, and changing them. Oh, my goodness. That was horrible. It was horrible. And if you didn't do it, you just stay penalized. You didn't change those links. You stayed down. All right, so I created this tool to allow me to manage all of my posts and all of my links. Okay, if I want to add a new blog, I just clickety-click here. I go and install it. I put it in an auth key, and this is where the PB and Amigo comes in. You install the PB and Amigo plugin, then you install this plugin on all your blogs with one click. It's done. You move on. So we add the blog. We have groups. We can add. You might have enough blogs in your network. I mentioned earlier about parallel blog networks. Well, parallel blog networks are also could be called group blogs. Like you have a 10 group that helps these guys out, and then another 10 group that help these guys out. So you can add groups and then post these links across your groups. It's just an organizational thing. Okay, so here's the cool part. And you also have campaigns too, sorry. So you can put in campaigns and keep track of a campaign. Like say, for instance, you're trying to rank site A, and so you create a campaign called site A, and then if you want to know where all of those links and articles are, then you load that campaign, and you can see everything that's gone out for that campaign. Organizational. You need that. Or do it all in Excel and good luck and have fun. I put it all in here because I can just click and check it out. So now if I want to add a new article, I just click that button right there. I can spin my title and I can spin my content if I want to. I don't have to, but I could put a spun article in here. I could use a scheduler. I could tell it to post to a group over the next 30 days, and it would take it would randomly sort out when it's going to post and what time it's going to post over 30 days, an article to every blog in that group. So it's drip feeding articles over time to a group, right? Very cool stuff. So that's one way to do it. Now you can not use a scheduler and not use a group and simply post to one particular blog. And then obviously, you put it in the right campaign. And you can create a new category if you would like to do that. I don't necessarily like doing that, but you can if you want. Okay, so let me see. I haven't checked this in. Let me review this. What blog is this? THDOM? I don't think THDOM is up right now. This is a lot of test stuff in this particular section. I can't show all this stuff live. I never know who's trolling me. Never know. I think I was testing with yay, there it is right there. Okay. Let me go ahead and review. Is this posted? I'm not sure if this is posted or not. Let me go ahead and just wipe out something here. Let me go ahead and make it like that. And then save changes. I'm not sure if that's on there posted or not. I'm going to have to take a look. This is just another test site. It might be down here at the bottom. But what I really wanted to show you guys, I'm going to just remove it, is I can control the content on these sites. Maybe it is THDOM. I can control the content on these sites and their, oh no, that's a test roof site. I'll have to just post one. I don't have time. But what I can do is if I want to look up all of the anchor texts for, this particular company, then I have the ability to do that, and then I can go in here and change it. And what I'm talking about here is here's the anchor text, and here's a URL in this piece of content on that blog. All right. Now, if I notice that I need more generic anchor text to help my rankings, or if I need maybe a little bit of sandwiched anchor text, which means the keyword inside of a 6 or 8 word sentence, sandwich the keyword in there works well. Or if I just want to click here or something like that, I can change it by simply putting click here. So now the anchor text, so right in here, it'll change this automatically on the blog without me having to do anything, and it happens instantaneously. Now, the other thing I can do is, let's say you have a client that, like a lot of us do, people pay us to rank their sites, and then when you get them on page 1, they say, oh, well, thanks for getting me there. I don't need you anymore, so goodbye. I'm not paying you. Or they just go away and never pay their invoices. Well, it makes it real easy to go in here and just remove their links. And then when you remove their links and their site's tank in 30 days, they're calling you back and you charge them double. Or you sell your links to somebody else. So this is a great way to manage all of your content, all of your money posts, all of your anchor texts, and all of your URLs. That's how we find, host, and post. Yes. Thank you, my friend. I thought it was smart too. Sure makes my job a lot easier. It sure makes my organization a lot easier. So that is an extremely cool tool. Now, as you can see here, I have a lot of other tools over here. We've got a site auditor tool, which if you're trying to score a client and you want to audit their website, then I'll show you this in just a second. You can enter in their information. You can load a profile right here, which loads all your information. And then put in their information and generate a report. I think I'm gonna do this over here now, but you can do a one-off. You're talking to someone on the phone, or you run into them and you get their information, and you want to work with them. You can generate a report, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. That helps you close the deal. So this is for client getting. So not only do we have tools in here that allow you to facilitate and service your clients, we also have tools in here that help you find and close clients, right? Got to have them both, right? Nothing happens until a sale happens, right? So you got to have people wanting your services, and that's called, there's different ways of prospecting. I mean, hell, pick up the yellow pages and start calling people. That's one way to do it. I don't particularly like that. I like to go with them with some, hey, here's what's wrong with your site. Did you know? Did you know you have problems? So you gotta, you don't want to go to people who don't have any problems. They're not going to want anything. But the people with problems are the ones. Okay, here's performance analysis. Checks once a week. Grade your site like I showed you a minute ago. So you always want to add your URLs in here, and you can turn on the monitoring of it. All right. On-page SEO scanner is pretty cool. I like this tool a lot because it allows me to really research client sites or particular competitor sites. I'm able to, here's a tutorial video right here. I don't really want to go over it right now because it just goes over a really high-level view of what's going on inside that site. So the audit tools are there. We also have mobile tools. Here's a mobile prospector. I know a lot of you probably heard of Mobilegeddon. They came out in April, where Google said if your site is not mobile friendly, and by the way, we have a mobile friendly testing kit that will tell us whether or not your site is mobile friendly, and if it's not, then we are not going to list you in our mobile devices search results, right? So everyone who wasn't mobile friendly basically got kicked out. And there's been a lot of studies done on it. You can go and Google it up all you want and read the reports and all that stuff, that it really did happen. So what we've done is we've tied this system into Google. Like I said, I have Google's API keys. I like tap into Google's heart on everything that I can. I ask the source, what's up with this or what's up with that. I don't leave it to my little brain. I can think of stuff, but not like they can. So I tap right into the source and ask them the questions, what they think about this or that. So I'll just show you a quick report right now. What I'm able to do with this, I'm able to put in any keyword, any region, and bring back however many results I want from 10 to 100. Can't bring back 1,000. probably never get finished. But no, it probably would. It would just take a while, and you would take up a lot of resources. But so what we've done is this particular is an old search I ran, but it went back and brought me in all these guys right here are not mobile ready. They have bad mobile scores. They will not rank in Google. They will not rank in Google Google mobile search. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I was trying to think there real quick. So what we have here is I just selected those top 4 right now. Now I can send all 4 of these guys, provided they have a good email. I might have to go out and try and find, their form. I can just click that button right there. Maybe I just want to. I can also, did I contact them? No, I'm going to say no there. See, so if they don't have an email right here, what I did was this thing automatically went and found us the contact form page, so I could automatically, I'm going to say no again there too. So, I got to do I'm going to load a profile. So right now I just put in all my information on this profile, and it sends out this email right here. So whenever I'm ready, I can click send emails to all these guys, and it sends them a link to a report that looks like this. Ta-da. Hey, here's your site, here's your score, it's not ready, give us a call. This is kind of a generic, this isn't the best template that we have. This is actually an older one, but the new one has like contact form up here and stuff like that, big headline on who to call and all that stuff. So this is this is just an old generated report. And I can also click that right there. I can control A, control C that, I can close that, and then I can go and hit their contact form, boom, message, and hit submit, and then they get your message, letting them know that their site, then I click yes right there, and then it marks that guy as being contacted through the contact form. See the contact history for this website, see that right there. So this is a pretty cool prospecting tool. It's really a good way to get in. Yes, you can upload your own logo. It is right here, okay? Oh, look at all my kids. Huh. Yeah, upload your own logo, white label everything. Put in your own messages. This is a pretty cool thing right here. We have our own, I wish I could show you the new version. The new version actually has, you can upload your own YouTube video. The new version of the template, I don't have time to show you, but let me just tell you that the new version on that site, you can auto-play a message that says, hey, thanks for stopping. I sent you that link. I'm glad you came by. It's really important that you look at your website. Look below. You're not mobile friendly, which means you will not rank in Google Mobile. Did you know that Google Mobile was 67% of all searches these days? And it's only getting more, blah, blah, blah. You can put your own message on there. Actually have a message that, is this right here is how Google's mobile get them can hurt your business. And of course you gotta skip the ads. So personal message is the best, right? Personal generic. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea. So we've got a lot of cool tools in here that not only help you facilitate rankings, but also how to find people that could use your services. We also have a mobile site builder. I also own the Mobile Command Center .co right here. Okay, we log in, we go around. It's all drag and drop. I need to add some credits for this website to build this. But anyway, so we got all this other stuff going on here. So this is a mobile command center right here. So if you want to build people mobile websites, you can do that. Charge them $500, and it might take you 30 to 45 minutes to an hour to get one together. It's really not that hard. It's a really cool builder. All right. So, man, we have got to move on. It's an hour and a half in. So there's, keyword tools. My gosh, I forgot to get into keyword tools. The keyword analyzer. This is kind of one of the tools that I use to find various great long-tail keywords. Very, very awesome tool. It pulls data from SEMrush, Majestic SEO. The cool thing about this is all these keywords right here. Now, this particular keyword I don't like because something went wrong when I ran it. But right here, you can see the SEO competition of each and every keyword. This tells you how much competition, how many sites are found with the keyword in anchor, keyword in URL, and keyword in the title. This is how many people are competing for this keyword because they have it in their title. If a webmaster puts a keyword in their title, that means they're going for it. That means they're trying. That means that's your competition. Okay, and this is how many Majestic found. We also have all the SEMrush data. If you've ever heard of SEMrush, great tool. It's between $50 and $500 a month, depending on how much you want to use it. But it's a paid service out there. We pay for it. We bring in their data and all that stuff. So we get a lot of data here. We also, as I mentioned earlier, we have Google's Keyword Planner. So Google's keyword data is here, SEMrush data here, and then we have Majestic SEO data here. So in one screen, in one panel, I can see basically everything I want to know about that keyword and should I be attacking it. Now, at the end of the day, when I find something that I'm like, okay, this looks pretty cool, you know, this, and this, that's not bad. You know, keyword and title, 6,274. That's not a lot for weight loss belt. But now, to really understand whether or not you should be going after that keyword, you got to know who's already in the top 10. All right, so real quick, I just pushed a button. I bring back all the top 10s and all the top 10 metrics. How juicy are the top 10? Very damn juicy right here. So I don't know if I would go after that. I mean, I see a lot of blue right out of the gate. I don't see much I should be trying. I mean, you know, I could compete with Amazon, Walgreens, Target. I already showed you that. I'm powerful, though. But you can be there, too. Not to say you're not, but you kind of understand, you know, your power. And if you don't know this, and if you can't do it fast, then you're wasting time, and time is money. So I don't have time to go into everything about the keyword tool. We also have long tail keyword suggestions. I pull them all in. If you don't like my tool, you can go out and pay around 50 to 88. I think I pay 88 bucks a month for mine. You can do it too, but you need one. I'm just saying you need one. Okay. Local lead tools. This is a really cool tool too. This also helps you find. Clients. It does a full SEO audit, like I showed you a minute ago in the local listings analysis. And maybe if someone wants me to go back over that, I will. But we really should move on and get on back to the presentation here real quick. And let me get rid of this guy and find my screen here. And I believe I'm back here. Yeah. All right. Now, after seeing that, I'm sure you would agree that's probably the best SEO tool on the planet. Now, I would like to know if anyone is on this webinar who has ever seen a tool better than this. And yes, Patrick, I forgot to show you, but there is a training video for each and every single tool that is on the system. And I know that's important, so I'm just going to click on back real quick. And I'm going to show it to you right here. Quick start, and then everything has a video right here, and then there's a lot of video icons throughout the system on all of these tools right here. So yeah, it is massive, and I do highly suggest that everyone watch the videos, because I know I'm like Speed Racer going through this, and I apologize, but there's just so much to cover that, man, I try to get as much as I possibly can into it, but it's just impossible to do even in 2 hours. But it's some cool stuff. So anyway, back to this. It's a great tool. There's 4 other developers that work on this every single day. We read your feedbacks. We're actually working on what we call version 2, which is in development right now, which is just going to streamline and add a whole bunch more things to it. I'm just a software geek at heart, and I see something that we can do better every single day. As you can see here, this actual platform has been developed in over 2.5 years, costs over $8,000 a month for me to run, and I've got over 170 grand in it and continuing. All right, so the point is if you're tired of paying for all of these other services, or if you're planning on getting into SEO, you can, by all means. I'm giving you all of the tools you need to do SEO. You got to know your metrics, though. You can't fly blind, okay? You just can't. You can't guess at it. You know, you can ask people a lot of questions. You just can't do it. Not on a professional level. Not on a making money in a big way level, right? If you just got one side you want to do, I mean, I don't want to say that you have to have this tool to do SEO. No, you can go and buy all these others, and you'll be just fine. But you can't do it with just your brain. I can't do it with just my brain. I can't. All right. Again, these are the kind of the results that we've been getting. These are just some screenshots of some other ones I didn't talk about earlier, but just more results. I'm sure you're probably tired of me pounding my chest on results, but there's more. All of them are still here. Total value. What I've done here is I broke down each and every tool and assigned it a value. And when I got to the total at the end, I was like, wow, really? I had to re-add that up. I was like, is it really that much? But yeah, it is. Rank tracking, domain monitoring, domain metrics, hacker monitoring. I didn't even get into hacker monitoring. My goodness, that's a great one. It takes me a lot of time from You got to know when you get hacked. I can't tell you how many people I have inside of my hosting company that submit a ticket and go, "Hey, I've been hacked." And I go and look, and I go, "Yeah, dude, you got hacked 3 months ago." What happened? Like, oh, well, how? I'm like, you just got hacked. It happens unless you're protected. I also own Hacker Spanker, shameless plug. On-page SEO scanner, WP security scanner, keyword research tools, domain sleuth, hosting, installer, link manager, indexer, index checker, plugin theme manager, interpage authority. I didn't even get to interpage authority. Blog network blueprint training, lead finder tools, which is way more than that right there. Expired domain hunter. Other people charge $300 a month for that. Over 10 grand a year for all my stuff. Now, if you're ready to save time and money, I want to know how many will type in page 1 now. Who wants to get on page 1 now? Go ahead and type it in. All right, yeah.
Come on, you guys.
Exactly.
Pop it in. Pop it in.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, here comes some ones. Okay. Now, I would be doing all of you guys. I would be giving you guys a great deal if I told you that was $3,000 a year, right? Yeah, exactly. That would be worth that. It really would.
Yeah.
If you went and bought all those tools individually, it's probably, if you didn't go over the top, it's $5,000 a year, $600 a month, easy for that stuff. All right. So $3,000 a year would be a great deal. An even better deal if I told you it was $2,000 one-time fee. Now that would be a great deal. That's what it should be. That's really what it should be. But today, we're going to give you full lifetime access for only $497, and I cannot make a better deal than that. Quite. Let me go ahead and tell you that.
Just think about the monthlies that you're giving up. I mean, continuity. There's no continuity cost at all. What do we pay just for a few of those tools? I mean, this is so. A friend says, "No way, one time, really? Yeah, really. Why do you think I've been so excited about this for you guys, and why I've emailed you to death? Because I knew this was going to just blow your mind. This is like the best deal ever. I mean,
now no upsells." And pretty soon, I'm going to have to. When I open this up with the sales page and everything, it's going to be $200 a month. It just has to be. Fast action bonus for the first 20 only, like I mentioned earlier, and I got to limit this. Spider Spanker Pro Unlimited, Content Amigo Unlimited, and 1 month of juicy domains for $1. I told you during the webinar that freaking link, SEOCommandCenter.com/. Yes. Put it in the chat. There's a third way to buy domains for your private blog network, and it's through a broker, okay? And a broker's usually going to charge you around $60 to $100 per domain. We have another one of my tools and services that I developed over the last few months called Juicy Domains. And it allows you to go in there and kind of pick your own domains. And they range anywhere from $25 to about $40 a month. So you'll be saving money, But we've already scraped the internet. Like, we've got about 200 million domains in our inventory. And we add those into the system, and we check all their metrics. We make sure they're good. What we've done with Juicy Domains is we've allowed you to check them yourself, right? I showed you how to check them earlier, and we've used those same type of information so you can check the domain yourself, and if you like it, you can pay the reveal price and then just move on with it so you don't have to run the crawler. I mean, because you saw the crawler, what I did. The crawler I had today ran 8 hours, and it found, I can't remember, 40-something domains, which isn't bad. It's actually pretty good, especially for all the high metrics I have. Now, I don't know how many of those are spammed out, but we also have inside of Juicy Domain, Juicy Picks. And so it's not, you don't have to do the auctions. You don't have to do the crawlers. You can get your blog network up and running with brokers. You go to anybody else, but we have one as well. But the point is get one up. There should be no excuse to not be able to get one up. You have to just get one going. And I promise you, you put on links from your networks to your money sites, they just go up in rankings. That's all there is to it. And if you go and buy a beautiful site like Ken teaches in his course, and go out and find something that just needs a little bit more organic boost, and it's already ranking for some keywords. If you give me a site that's already ranking for some keywords, that tells me it's got good on-page SEO, and Google likes it because they're already ranking it for things. Now we take that and we go after the big boy keywords, and we double that site's revenue. That's what I'm most excited about, because I just got into Ken's program just yesterday, and I'm looking at all that, and then I'm listening to everything that Ken has to say, and his partner has to say, and watching videos, and I'm scouring through websites, and I'm finding really quickly and easily finding opportunities that I can pay a couple $1,000s for a site that just needs some help in its organic rankings. So I'm excited. I mean, I can just see like a lot of new sites coming into the mix. All right, here's what you're getting. Lifetime access to the SEO Command Center, Blog Network Blueprint. You're going to save up to $500 a month on all your SEO services. Again, you can read them: rank tracking, domain auctions, Sleuth, domain crawler, site audit, blah, blah, blah. Fast action bonuses, Spider Spanker Pro, Content Amigo, and juicy domains for $1. Again, don't forget, everyone always asks me this: full access to Blog Network Blueprint, all the video training you need to know about PBNs. All from me and from Clinton.
All right. Are there any other fees attached? Are there any other fees attached to it?
We have a small maintenance fee to help us keep up with the servers, but that's it. And the credits are, as I mentioned earlier, the credits are only used in 2 or 3 or 4 areas. I think it's 3 actually. It's whenever you request backlinks and anchor texts from Majestic and Moz and SEMrush. They charge me every time you access them for a data. So it's really, look, first of all, you're not going to run out. I mean, really, unless you're just gung-ho, guns a-blazing. If that's the case, take number 2, and if you blow all that out, just give me a holler and let me know. What it is to prevent abuse, right? I can't just let someone there and have unlimited access to do something malicious to me and my organization. But, you know, it's kind of like, remember the old cell phone packages where if you went over your minutes, they didn't tell you, but you got a giant bill at the end of the month? Remember that? Well, that's the same thing that happened to me, because those companies don't tell me, oh, hey, by the way, you've reached your limit, we're going to cut you off. No, they just let you go, and then you get to pay through the nose at the end of the day. So credits are there mainly for abuse. You're not going to, I have very few people that run out of, now there are some people that run out of Premier 1 credits, and then they just upgrade to Premier 2. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it now, because I know someone's already going to ask me, is can I upgrade to Premier 2 for the difference in price? And I say yes, up to a certain point. I'll give you 60 days from the time you order now. I'll give you 60 days to upgrade to the next package and stay locked in to all of that, but 60 days only. And then that's it. But don't worry too much about those credits. No one, very few people ever run out. I never get that cry, and no one ever does anything. Assistance, absolutely. If you go back to the software, right down here in the help, you can go to our support desk and log right in. Okay, and we read that stuff every day. A guy by the name of Marco hits that quite often, and then he pulls me in when I need to get in, and he pulls the developers in when they need to get in. So everything's there. We've got to, this didn't just open yesterday, guys. I was using this last year, and I opened it up to my inner circle in March. So, we've worked out a lot of kinks since March, April, May, June, July. We're mid-August. So it's got people in there. Not a whole lot of people, so don't worry about it. Someone blowing it up. There's less than 200 people in there right now. I don't promote this, everywhere under the sun. Just kind of team up with just various cool people like Ken, and so I'm just reading your questions here. Sorry for the pause. So it's got a lot of wear and tear on it, if you will. It's been through the motions. I used the crud out of it. I know Robert might be around. If y'all can hear Robert. Robert, are you still there? I'm not sure if he left or not, but
he's muted. He's muted. I'm not sure if he's here or not. But I'm seeing a lot of I'm in. So I'm seeing Annie's in. David is in. I'm kind of trying to scroll through this different categories. Ted is in. Our buddy friend is definitely in. Excited, as you can see. Jillian is in. Patty's in. Tim is in. Will is in. So yeah, this is gonna be great. You guys are gonna love this. This is
now I'm gonna hear the. Are there any bonuses left? Here it comes. I need to check my stats here.
Yeah, I know. I know we're getting up there, and of course I can't see the numbers. I'm just seeing on Excel people say, "Wait for me." So this is great. Magnus is in. There we go. Magnus, there you go.
Right on, Magnus.
And yeah, Magnus rocks. Magnus rocks. Magnus is doing Intervestor too. So this is a great one-two punch.
I'm really excited about looking at studying more sites and just picking out the ones that I'm telling you guys. Find some sites and on Flippa, you can see their traffic, right? The first thing you should do if you see a site that looks interesting, click on the traffic area, and you can see most of them are legit. I think be careful for the scammers. Ken teaches us all that, but if you can see it has some organic traffic, then that using this tool and your newfound SEO knowledge that you'll be able to get more and more organic traffic to that site. And gosh, I see buying. How you buy houses and fix them up a little bit and then flip them for a whole lot of profit. I can see that happening over and over again.
Oh yeah, and this gives you so many options, and certainly for what we're talking about, whether you're just getting started or whether you've got an existing site, which is what we want you all doing if you're buying sites, it's just huge. But there's so many more things. Just the whole option, just in terms of even providing services to others and setting up a complete outsourced business. So you can. There's just tons. It's so cool, tons available. So it's just really fantastic.
A lot of different ways to use this.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So for you guys that are coming in, and I'm still seeing these. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I even call. I want to mention names 17 different times. Cheryl is in. Mike and Mark. Cool. Yes, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this earlier. I guess I forgot to, but there is, a split pay option for those that need a little bit lower of come and join us fee. I've went ahead and made that available because, people ask for it, and I don't blame them. It's cool. Some people fail their second month. If you fail your second month, you will get kicked out, though.
Yeah, of course.
So that is.
This is going to be good. This is going to be really good. I'm super excited about it. Now you guys will too. Any other questions, you guys? I know we've been here for a bit. And Catherine, can you see why I wanted you to be on for this? This to me is just fantastic. I think it's great for you. I think it'll make a big difference. So to get you further. Okay, you guys. Anything else? I tell you what, I'm pumped again. And I heard this. We did a private session just the other night. Yeah, Catherine says yeah. So for sure. So you guys jump in and join us. The link again. Let's put that in the chat for you guys. It's SEOCommandCenter.com/yes. I'll put that in the chat. Grab it now. and get started with this, because we're starting to use it now, and you know, I can't wait. Chris, who was with us earlier, Chris, my Chris, is super excited about this. I mean, he's swimming. He's so excited. Yeah, Tim is Catherine's husband. He's listening. He's the SEO guy there, so that's great. And Patrick, yeah, there definitely is training in each of the tools. There's videos in all of them, so we're going to be going through them too. I think that's going to be great. Yeah, I won't ever send you guys to something that I don't think is super, that I wouldn't want to play with or use currently myself. And that when we got exposed to this, I was like, oh yeah, this has to be shared with everybody. So jump in and join me, because we're going to be using this too. And I have been, as I admitted in my emails to y'all, I'm not an SEO guy. I've never been an SEO guy. Ran from SEO guys. Thought it was like black magic, and you know, you just pick any kind of adjective you wanted to use. It just didn't make sense to me. Now I look at it and go, how much money have I given up and have I lost because I've not played, you know? So I think for sure this is just gigantic for all of us. So with that said, go run and grab your copy now while the bonuses are still available. Thank you all for bearing with us tonight with our time issue, you know, and being part of it. And you guys are awesome. So with that said, any final words, Todd?
No, I think that sums it up. I really appreciate everybody that hung around a little bit late with us tonight, and hope to see you on the inside. Holler at me.
Awesome, you guys, lunch, and then we'll hear your results. That's fantastic. Let's see, Magnus in, they pay pictures, but congratulations. Get started, have fun. Can't wait to hear about your successes and see you inside of Investor next week too. So awesome, guys. Again, see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks again, Todd. Awesome presentations.
Thank you. Bye.